Stop guessing your payroll tax. Calculate payroll tax correctly in 2026. Are you struggling to calculate PAYE tax, your pensions, your net salary correctly in Nigeria? Maybe you are an accountant, a payroll officer, business owner, and even an employee trying to understand why your take-home pay is striking. Or even an accounting graduate who is searching for a job interview. All right? So one wrong payroll calculation can lead to penalty from tax authority, employee complaints, and costly compliance issues. In this video, I will show you step by step how to calculate payroll tax in Nigeria for 2026 using Excel with a real-life example you can copy immediately. By the end of this video, you will be able to calculate a gross pay, pension deductions, rent relief, national housing fund, NHIS, taxable income, PAYE tax, net salary, and effective tax rate. And I will also share a free Excel payroll tax calculator you can use for your own calculations. Let's get started.
You are welcome to the Analytical Entrepreneur.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, my name is Dr. Friday Ojabun, a chartered accountant. And on this channel, I help an accountants, tax consultants, students, business professionals, and business owners simplify tax, accounting, and Excel and data analysis. If that sounds useful to you, please like this video, subscribe, and turn on notification so you never miss practical tutorial like this. Today, we are going to focus on how to calculate PAYE tax in Nigeria. All right. This calculation is based on Nigeria Personal Income Tax Act, okay, and the graduated tax band currently used for PAYE deduction.
You are welcome to the Analytical Entrepreneur.
Section 1. Understanding payroll tax in Nigeria. Before we jump into the Excel templates, let's quickly understand what payroll tax means in Nigeria. Right? So payroll tax mainly includes PAYE. PAYE means pay as you earn. All right. So this is the monthly personal income tax deducted from employee salary and remitted to the state internal revenue service where the employee resides. Then number 2 is pension contribution. All right. Under the Pension Act, under the Pension Reform Act, employee is expected to contribute 8% of the basic transport and rents. Then employer is also expected to contribute 10% of basic transport and rents. All right. So, but our whole focus on this video is the employee deductions of 8%. Then number 3 is National Health Insurance Scheme. Under the Act, employee is expected to contribute 5% of his basics salary. Then employer 10% of the basic salary. All right. But the focus of this is the employee deductions, which is the 5%. The next is National Housing Fund. Under this act, employee is expected to pay 2.5% of basic salary. Okay. And any employee that have a salary above 30,000 that is qualified to participate. All right. So the next one is rent relief. All right. Rent relief allowance of lower of 500,000 or 20% of the actual rent paid, assuming someone paid 3 million rents. Okay. And 20% of 3 million is 600,000 rent relief. But he will not be entitled to that 600,000. All right, because it's above the limit of 500,000. So he still qualifies for 500,000. Then when the employee paid 2 million for rent, what he can claim is 400,000, not the 500,000.
You are welcome to the Analytical Entrepreneur.
We are here to show you how to use the template I designed for PAYE tax. All right, you can use it to calculate your PAYE tax and salary pay slip. Right, so what you just need to do is to download the link from the link at the description so that you can use it. Okay, so first of all, we have items, basic salary, transport, and every other allowance that you implement in your company. And whenever you add it together, you have a gross income. So let's fill in all this space, right? You fill it, then you add summation, right? Sum it together. Okay. If you want to learn this model, how to model it, I'm going to share a video that is coming up soon, where I will teach step by step on how to model these PAYE templates. All right. So now you have the next one. It has rent relief of lower of 500,000 or 20% of actual rent paid. All right. The limit is 500,000. So assuming that you have 200,000, 2 million here, 2 million here, see, to give you 400,000. It's already programmed. But if you have 3 million here, you have 500,000. So let's use 2.5. Still have 500,000 because 2.5 times 20%, okay, it's same as 20%, right? 2.5, right? So if I put 3 million now, 3 million of 20% is 600,000, but it's showing me 500,000 because it's already programmed, right? So let's leave it at 2.5. Let's leave it at 2.5. So now, under the National Health Insurance Scheme, you see that it's 100,000 because it is 5% of the basics, which is the 2 million, right? Then the pension is 8% of basic transport and rent. Add it together and you take 8%. Then the National Housing Fund is 2.5% of the basics, right? That's how you have this. So now, total tax exempt. It means you add the rent relief, you add the National Health Insurance Scheme, you add the pension, you add the National Housing Fund, add it together. So you can take the sum of that, and add it together, right? So taxable income, how do you know your taxable income? You minus your gross income minus total tax exempt. You have your taxable income. So this taxable income, you use it under the tax band. All right. The first one is nil because based on the law, anyone that is first 800,000 salary will be exempted from paying tax, paying PAYE tax, right? So that's why even at this time, they still give you 0. All right. Then the next one is the next of 2.2 million, right? So this is the tax band. The next 2.2 million, you take it 50% of that, will give you 330,000. All right. So now, since the total salary is 6.7 million and the next is 9 million, so you can't take the whole 9 million. So you take this plus this, 8 million plus 800,000 plus 2.2 million minus this from 6.7 million, you have this as a balance. So you take the 80% of the balance to have this. And that is how you have this together as annual total taxable. All right, this is the tax that this person is expected to pay in a year altogether. All right, but because salary is paid monthly, you take divide this by 12 to have what you'll be deducting from the employee pay slip every month. All right, 83,000. So that's what they will be deducting from the employee pay slip every month. But cumulatively, at the end of the year, you would have paid 1.1 million, over 1 million. Right? Now, the gross monthly gross salary, for you to have it, you divide the 7.7 million, which is the gross income, by 12. All right? So that is how you have the monthly gross income. Now, for you to have monthly net pay, how do you have monthly net pay? First of all, you minus the total taxable income minus annual taxable total taxable. You minus it, have a different, then divide it by 12. So that is how you have this monthly net pay. You see, so when this person receive a pay slip, all right, receive a pay slip, this is what will enter into his bank. Meanwhile, this is his gross income. By the time he was given appointment, they will say, you are earning 7.7 million, okay, which translates to 641,000 monthly as a gross. But by the time they minus all the deductions, what it will be his take-home pay will be 478,000 naira. All right, so that's what is going to be his own pay that will enter into his bank. All right, so for you to get the effective tax rate, you have to divide the monthly tax. All right, monthly tax divided by the monthly gross income, monthly gross income, and that's how you get your effective tax rate. All right, so now we are done with my own design, but I want to compare this with what government have done, all right, through their websites. Government has a website where they have a template where you can just key in those figures, all right? But I'm going to show you the difference between my design and the government own design. So let's get in there here now. Is fiscalreform.ng. It's from government, right? It's already a template on the online. So you can also go to that website and also demonstrate what I'm just showing you now. Okay. All right. So what they have is that gross income. They just have gross income. They don't have it the way we have details of what I have demonstrated to you on the model that I have designed. All right, so you just come and click, right? I have 7.7 million, but in my own case, in the design, I have basic salary, the transport, rent, and all of that. And you need the details for you to be able to use this site. All right, so now you type it and fix it. The additional deductions. So what are you going to put it here now? National health insurance, national housing fund. So how will you know your national housing fund when you don't know the basic, the transport, and all of that? So that is why if you are using this, you must be able to know what is your national housing fund. So you get it and fix it there. Then NHIS. You also need to know it because you get that one from your basic salary, right? Get that one from your basic salary. Okay, that is 100,000. Then the National Housing Fund is 49,250. All right, I'm using the same figure that I use in my model. Okay, then pension, right? I'm just copying from my model because I already have the calculations. Okay, the pension, you need basic salary, you need rent and transport allowance added together. You take 8% of that, right? The interest on loan, like my own model, I ignore it. Life insurance premium, I ignore it. But rent, here is 2.5. 2.5. Make sure it's 2.5. If it's not 2.5, you can change your calculations. All right. So once we fill in this, the next thing you do, you say calculate your PAYE tax comparison. The beauty thing about this one is it compares the old method and the new method, right? All right. So you can see, the gross annual income, national housing fund, NHIS, pension, all of them. So you see the rent relief, it gives you 500,000. But if I put 603 million to still give me 500,000 because that's the limit. But if I put 2 million, then this figure would have changed. So you can see that this taxable income is the same with what I have computed, above 1 million. So you can see the effective rate. My old was 30%, and this was 30%. Monthly pay tax is 3,701 naira. It's the same thing with mine. So monthly gross salary, see the same thing with mine. right? So, but the beauty thing about this platform is that it's able to compare it with the old. So you can see the old and see the old, we have effective 50% tax rate, 50%, but the new, we have effective tax rate 13%, all right? But the old, you were paying 94,000, right? But in the new, you were paying 83,000 plus, right? So this is just a comparison between the old and the new, all right? And I'm also comparing this government template with my old design. So what you need to do is that you just download my old design and keep it on your platform, because you have the basic salary, transport, you have the all the allowances being captured in my own clearly, right? But in government owned, you only have the gross annual income. And for you to be able to use this government owned, you must know the details of that gross annual income. All right. So that is what I have been able to share with you. I know that this tutorial will actually help someone. All right. So that's it. Download the template on the description below. Make sure you download it. All right. Now, the common mistakes to avoid is that many payroll officer makes these mistakes, forgetting pension deductions before tax, calculating rent relief wrongly, apply wrong tax band, using an annual rate or monthly salary, ignoring tax exemptions. So always double check your formula. So when you download that template, make sure that it is in order. Don't alter it, just use it for your calculation. If you found this tutorial useful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with payroll officer, accountants, students, CEO, and business owners. Comment payroll templates below, and I will share the templates with you. Also comment below if this Excel calculator has helped you to solve your payroll issues. All right. So you can also check some of our videos, how to file new VAT returns on Rev 360, how to fix email issues on Rev 360, and so many of our videos. So, all right, thank you for watching, and I will see you in our next video.